criminal justice, healing, education. Time to awaken the people. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are currently watching. My name is Holly Sisa. I'm the founder of this lovely program called Morning Mimosas Podcast, where we awaken the Black and minority communities by valuing justice, healing, and educating. So, before we get started, as you guys know, we have a few little housekeeping things we have to get out the way first. And then we're going to dive into the life and the unfortunate senseless death of Miss 36-year-old Sonya Massey in Springfield, Illinois. So before we get started, let's look at the wonderful commercials we have from our lovely partners.
Sanjanette Sayers here from Imuna Soaps and Essentials. Just wanted to send out a reminder for all of you Morning Mimosa community members. If you go to my website and use promo code MM23, you will get a percentage off of your entire order. And my website is www.emunahsoaps.com. God bless.
Hey y'all, it's Auntie Harley, CEO, founder, and owner, lots of hats, of Ganelle's Crafts. Speaking of hats, our signature product, the flower crown, can be found right at our Instagram page, Ganelle's Crafts. But that's not even why we're here. I'm here today, number one, to give a shameless plug for these do-rags, because y'all been eating these up, okay? And number two, I'm giving another shameless plug. If you mention the amazing podcast, Morning Mimosas, shout out to the beautiful host, Holly, at your checkout, you get $10 off your full order. And we make some of everything, baby, not just do-rags and hats. So definitely come see us over at Ganelle's Crafts. If we haven't made it already, if you send us an idea, we could probably make it for you. We adore you. We love you. From our family to yours, get you something handmade.
So those are just a few of Morning Mimosa's lovely partners. We actually have one more commercial to go. And I just want to give a huge shout out to Miss Nisha Gaines. She is a lovely photographer here in the Denver, Colorado area. And I just want to give you guys a little bit of what she does and what services she offers. And then we will get into the meat and potatoes of the episode. Once again, I just want to thank all of Morning Mimosa's lovely partners. We appreciate you guys so much. Now to the episode at hand. On July 6, 2024, in Springfield, Illinois, 36-year-old Sonya Massey called the Springfield police because she believed that there was some kind of intruder or some kind of intrusion in her home. When the two officers arrived, former Officer Greyson and his partner, who I've never gotten the name of, When they arrived to Miss Massey's home, she greeted them and she let them in. She had a pot of boiling water on her stove, and it seemed very pleasant at the beginning. And then for some reason, things took a very, very interesting turn of events once the two officers were in her home. I believe Officer Greyson asked her to, I believe, turn off the boiling water, and she was complying. She was listening. And I don't know what made her utter the words, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," other than we all later found out that that officer really was a demon. But she tried to get the water, and former Officer Greyson shot Sonya Massey multiple times. Thus her life being taken on July 6th, 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go with this one. First and foremost, I want to give my sincerest condolences to Sonya Massey, and I want to give all my love and all of my support to the Massey family, her two children. She had a 17-year-old son and a 15-year-old daughter. I want to give you guys all my love and my support because you guys didn't deserve to lose your mother in that way. So I just want to say I'm so sorry. And then Miss Massey's mother, I'm so sorry that you lost your daughter in that fashion. It was absolutely horrendous. I just want to say I'm just so, so sorry. And the reason I'm speaking up on this is because I am a criminal justice student and I am in training to be a detective. And it just really disappoints me that us minorities cannot call the police. And then something like, I'm not saying it happens often, but it just seems like there's a pattern here of we call the police and then something ends up happening to us because we want justice or we want something to be done. To my Black community, I'm just going to say this. We have to learn how to protect ourselves because sometimes the police will not do it for us. That's one of the things I just wanted to go ahead and say. We have to learn how to protect ourselves because not everybody wants to protect us. I'm going to speak to my Black people because this is for the Black and minority community, but let me speak to my Black people quick. You guys notice that there's not any kind of bill for us, no bill to protect us. So we have to be the bill that protects us. I hope I'm reaching someone when I say that. We have to be the bill that protects ourselves because sometimes the police just don't do it. So I'm not gonna show you guys the actual body cam footage out of respect for Miss Massey and her family, but I am gonna show you a screenshot of that evening. So as you guys can clearly see here, this is the incident that took place on that Saturday. Um, very, very senseless. What happened to Miss Massey? But this is Miss Massey at her door, and this is one of the officers. And as you guys see on the left-hand side, the officer was getting ready to unalive Miss Sonya Massey. But this is just a little bit of what the body cam footage caught on that Saturday, July 6th. And another thing that's very disheartening about this whole scenario is that the officer that ended up taking Miss Massey's life told his partner, who was trying to get her aid, not to get her aid because he said, oh, it was a headshot, she's done. It was the most heartbreaking thing that I've ever heard a human being say about another human being. I want people to come together and have a coming of human moment if we can for a second. Why is it that nobody sees the one thing that we all have in common is that we all breathe, shit, eat, and live? It doesn't seem like that's the case. It just seems like somebody wants to be more inferior than the next person, knowing that we all bleed blood. I just think that it's really, really disgusting how Miss Massey was treated that day. She called the Springfield police to get help for an intrusion that she believed was going on in her home. Now there is some records stated that a few days prior, Sonya Massey's mother called 911 because Miss Sonya was having some mental health issues. Most of us do have those, right? But little did they know that as she called a couple days later, that it would change the dynamic of their family forever. Like I said, absolutely disgusting what happened to Miss Sonya Massey. I'm going to go ahead and put up this picture because this is something that resonates very deeply with me. The police need to stop murdering innocent people. Okay. I'm going to throw out a name here because I live in Colorado. Mr. Lewis lost his life in May of this year to an Aurora police officer, and no justice is being done for him either. I'm coming to say this. Look at these beautiful people on the screen. We are sick and tired of the police being able to get away with these crimes. I'm like, taking life as a crime. Like I just really understand why, if you're a police officer, why you get more leverage than the next person. Because last time that I checked, the Constitution that I know is that nobody, including the president, is above the law. And that definitely goes for Officer Sean Greyson, former Officer Sean Greyson, whatever his name is. It is absolutely insane that that situation occurred in that way. It shouldn't have happened, and Miss Sonia should be alive today. Like I said, this whole story in general is just very, very heartbreaking. She did not deserve what happened to her. Now, this is Miss Massey. Again, I just wanted to make sure that I'm honoring the beautiful soul that was lost here. She was a mother, she was a daughter, she was an aunt, she was a human being that literally was asking for help. And an officer took her life. And it seemed like he was very, very trigger happy. It was like he was, and it's based on the information that we have about former Officer Greyson as well. He's had multiple DUIs. He's been to 6 departments, 6 departments in 4 years. 6 departments in 4 years. And you guys thought that this man was a good officer? Don't get me started on what I think about the logistics part of everything. But this officer that DUIs, he's been in 6 departments in 4 years. That is like the red flag to spin and just go crazy. That red flag is like it's screaming at these police departments, but yet you guys kept on hiring him, knowing that he was a liability to the police force. So all those police officers that ended up, the police forces that ended up hiring him, shame on every last one of you. And then shame on the Springfield chief of police who retired yesterday because the Illinois governor was asking for his retirement based on how the Sonya Massey case was dealt with. Especially because they knew the kind of officer that Greyson was, and they knew about the information in his jacket. They knew better. And had these police officers and these departments and HR took a look at the bigger picture, this man would have never and should have never been a police officer. That man was too trigger happy for me. I couldn't do it. He was way too trigger happy for me. And Miss Massey did not deserve to lose her life because this man was a walking red flag, and none of these police departments did anything until he took the life of this beautiful woman. I'm disgusted, guys. I'm very, very, very disgusted by how things played out. All these departments, 6 of them in 4 years. I'm going to say that again. 6 departments in 4 years. Walking red flag. Until it reached this huge boiling point on Saturday, July 6th of 2024, when Miss Massey called the police to get assistance because that's what 911 is supposed to be. They're supposed to serve and protect us, right? That's what they're supposed to do. But that's not what ended up happening here. What ended up happening was a very tragic situation, and Miss Massey ended up losing her life, and she did not deserve anything that happened to her that night. For the people who say that what happened to her was justified, I just want to say shame on you and then shame on your mother. And I say that because we learn things from our parents. And I'm saying this to the racist people. That's mostly it. And then anybody else who thought that this was a justified killing of an unarmed black woman. Shame on the society that thinks that what that former officer did to Miss Massey was okay. Shame on your thought process. I respect people's opinions, but I cannot respect an opinion that is absolutely utterly wrong when it comes to humanity. What that officer did was 100% wrong, and he had no right to take this woman's life. That's why I'm grateful that Springfield Police acted, at least, to make sure that this officer is facing first-degree murder charges in the state of Illinois, and he's no longer a deputy officer. But I'm going to talk shit again. Have they looked at the big red flags, 6 departments in 4 years? This man should have never been hired at the first one, knowing that there's going to be 5 more in that short period of time. Miss Massey did not deserve what happened to her. She had her whole life ahead of her. Born on February 12th, 1988, she had aspirations and dreams. She was a hard-working mother. She had a 17-year-old son and a 15-year-old daughter, and they miss her so much. She had a mother, she had a family, and they had plans to love her and be with her for the rest of their lives. But because she called the police for help, someone, specifically former Officer Greyson, decided to take advantage of that. And then he took this innocent woman from us. Sonya Massey's funeral was held on Friday, July 19th. It, it's like I said, this is a really, really sad situation altogether. She did not deserve what happened to her. She deserved to be here, and I'm praying for people with common sense. Let's come together. Let's make solutions. Let's protect each other so we're not having to call the police. And then just to the police forces, not all police forces are bad. It's unfortunate that the bad police officers are overtaking the good ones. That's what's the sad part. The good ones are overshadowed by the evil ones like him. Let's come together. Let's break these generational curses. Let's become one. Let's become community with the word unity emphasized. So situations like this don't occur. So I could have been Sonia's neighbor that, oh, something's going on. All right, I'm on my way. Let me see how I can help you. And she was facing this issue. The police are supposed to be here to help us, but sometimes we fall victim to them, as Miss Sonya Massey did on that Saturday, July 6th. It's really sad what happened to her, guys. It's really, really sad what happened to her. She did not deserve this. She did not deserve this. Rest in love, Miss Sonya Massey, as we continue the fight for justice for you and your family. So sorry that this happened to you, and may that former officer be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Guys, this is Morning Mimosas, where we awaken the Black and minority communities by valuing justice, healing, and educating. With a note that we love all people. Until next time, once again, fly high, Miss Sonya Massey.